Gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
So today we're discussing the real reason why Trump didn't pick Ben Carson for his vice president or even Tim Scott. These people were in the lead. So Ben Carson has recently talked at the RNC, Republican National Convention.
Sarah Huckabee always says to me, I hate to follow you, but I think she turned the table on me tonight.
Now, there are some very serious reasons why this has occurred. One of the main factors is because of the demographic that Trump is trying to target. So for those of you that don't know, he chose J.D. Vance, Senator J.D. Vance, as his vice president. And who is J.D. Vance? Well, first, let's talk about who Ben Carson is. Ben Carson is a famous neurosurgeon, retired neurosurgeon, who then went into politics, ran for president, and ultimately served as the head of the housing department under his time working with Donald Trump at the White House. He is a very loyal person to Trump, and that's a key word, which is one of the reasons why he may very well be headed back to the White House again in another capacity other than vice president. Let's listen to some of the message that he spoke of during his RNC speech, and then we'll jump into more of the reasons why Trump went with Vance over Carson or even over Tim Scott.
I want to thank you all for being here and for being involved. Like many of you last week, I watched with horror as the events unfolded in that Pennsylvania field. I saw President Trump, a dear friend, escape death by mere inches, and my thoughts immediately turned to the book of Isaiah that says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Well, let me tell you the weapons that they used. First, they tried to ruin his reputation, and he's more popular now than ever. And then they tried to bankrupt him, and he's got more money now than he had before. And then they tried to put him in prison, and he's freer and has made other people free with him. And then last weekend they tried to kill him, and there he is over there alive and well.
And there you can see one of the reasons why he didn't choose Carson. It's not because Carson is not a loyalist. In fact, it's because Carson is likely worth more to him, not as VP, but possibly as an even larger role than VP. What's larger than VP? There are a number of roles. Everything from Secretary of State to a variety of other positions in his cabinet. And honestly, Carson can fill many of them. More so, Trump needs advisors and people that will be very, very close to him. The VP, in many ways, is not as close to the president as we would like to think. And his most trusted advisors, on the other hand, they absolutely are. Trump needs protection at this point. And he's going to surround himself by the people that he can trust the most. And that's going to be people like Ben Carson and Tim Scott. They know how to fall in line and they're loyal to him until the end. Let's continue watching and listening a bit more to his speech at the RNC.
You know, I have no doubt that God lowered a shield of protection over President Trump. And I join millions of Americans in thanksgiving for President Trump's safety. And I encourage you to join me in praying each day for his continued protection. You know, our hearts go out to the victims in the audience. Let's also pray for them and their families. These events have brought unusual clarity to the times we are living in. We have all harbored the nagging feeling that everything we love is slipping away. All you have to do is turn on the television. The free press, a pillar of any free society, has abused the public trust and resorted to lies, deception, and disinformation.
And this is just another one of the reasons why Trump is going to likely have Ben Carson serving as probably an advisor in his administration. He's going to want someone like Carson right next to him, sitting right next to him, closer than a VP would be doing. A VP is more of an administrative role. Don't get me wrong, Vance is a loyalist to the very end, and that's the reason why he was given that position. But he's going to want someone like Carson to advise him and to be close by, especially now after what's happened. And the same is to be said about Tim Scott. People like Steve Bannon, once Steve Bannon gets out of prison, he undoubtedly will continue to be very, very close to Trump. And again, he likely will be one of Trump's I shouldn't even say aides, but one of his direct advisors. There was an actual clip where Steve Bannon was doing an interview live on television, and Trump called him while he was live on TV, and Steve picked up the phone, and he said to him, he asked him, he said, "Mr. President, I'm on television right now. Is it all right if I call you right back? Or is it all right if I call you back?" And that's one of the first tests. Trump will get furious with you. He might even throw you out, tell you to get out of here, and then he'll watch how you respond. Do you start going and bashing him in the media? Do you become disrespectful? Do you turn on him? Or do you remain completely loyal to him until the end? You see, that's how you know you're real boys, who the people are that you can trust. The people that you can truly trust are the people that still represent you, speak highly of you, and do not betray you, even when it appears like you've turned your back on them. That's how you know the character and the worth of a person, if they actually ever believed in you. Because if they believed in you once, even if you're no longer the best of friends, they'll still believe in the things that you said and the points that you made and the merit of your character. That's one of the reasons why I truly believe that Ben Carson and Tim Scott, along with a variety of other picks, will be headed to the White House and have positions in the administration. But Ben Carson, he's going to be close to Trump. Ben Carson is going to be very, very close to Trump. What position exactly? We're going to have to wait and see. But a lot of these positions are going to be filled by loyalists because they're going to be cleaning house. A lot of people are like saying, "Oh, Project 2025 has nothing to do with Trump." That's an absolute lie. Agenda 47 and Project 2025 look very, very similar. Agenda 47 Agenda 47 is actually Trump's official plan of what he's going to do once he enters, if he enters back into the White House. And there's a lot of similarities there. But Project 2025 is going to happen regardless if Trump wins the election or not. And Project 2025 is essentially going to remake the government in the image of Trump. And that's a big, very, very big thing to consider. If we look at this article right here, we can get some following points. Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance as his running mate in part because Vance has similar political views, a good rapport with the former president, and a prodigious fundraising network. And despite the fact that he once wondered if Trump might turn out to be not for America, Trump still chose him. Trump also believes that the author of a celebrated book on rural America can appeal to working class voters in key states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, according to Republican campaign officials and allies. Vance has championed the hardworking men and women of our country, Trump said in announcing his selection on Truth Social website. There's also the age of Vance. Vance is a millennial. He is a millennial, and he's almost a zennial like me, but he's almost a zennial. Honestly, I think that the zennial year should be extended a bit more, but he's almost a zennial. He was born in 1984. Zennial years are 1977 through 1983, but he's just a year younger than I am. And that very well may appeal to younger voters, millennials, who are going to say, oh, wow, we're about to have a vice president who is a millennial in the White House. I know this pisses off a lot of Gen Xers who said that we'll never have, that the way things are looking, we'll never have a president who is Gen X. But then again, there's a lot, most Gen Xers will just shrug their shoulders and say, oh, well, I just want to be left alone, so I don't give a damn. You know, as long as you don't bother me, I won't bother you. Because, you know, that's just the way they like it. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider checking out and subscribing to my newsletter for my personal thoughts and ideas. You can find a link to it in the description of the video, and also join the Angry Guy community on Locals for exclusive content, or just to support the community. You can find a link to it in the description of the video, and you can also go to angrygalaxy.com to check us out, to find our Locals. What do you guys think regarding all of this? You know, the real reason why Donald Trump didn't pick Ben Carson for his vice president, or Tim Scott, because they are going to likely play a large part in his administration as being direct advisors, or being put into positions directly under Trump, because he's going to keep these people, the people that were most loyal to him, very, very close. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWAM and walking away. And cheers.